We're gonna go for 4 fucking plates, bro. Holy shit. I got it. I got it. Don't touch it.
Let's go.
All right, 200 pounds on the fucking bar. Let's hope I fucking get this shit, dude. Thank God. Hey y'all, Zach here. In today's video, we're gonna be talking about how impressive is a 200-pound overhead press, really. We're gonna be going over my anecdotal experience with the lift and just going over the general statistics. But before we get into today's video, I would like to shout out the workout program that is helping me increase my overhead press, and that's gonna help me get to a 2-plate overhead press very soon. Again, it's only $5, less than a Big Mac, but more fulfilling. All right, back in today's video. So without further more ado, let's get straight into today's video. So with my personal experience of overhead press, I started overhead pressing, or I overhead pressed for the first time about 4 months ago, right? I got all the way up to about 185. I was really on and off with the lift. I was not consistent at all. I really just attempted it and tested it out because you guys enjoyed it and you guys asked me to. And it was a cool lift. I just didn't really see me putting it into my workout program. And then, fast forward to now, to most recently, I just got off of a cut. I was doing kind of an aggressive mini cut for a month, dropped from 220 to 212. And then just a week into my cut, I went back to overhead press, which was about 11 days ago. And I got to a 195-pound overhead press. Right, and here's a video of me doing that right here. All right, this would be a PR if I hit this. It's 195. Come on, bro. Nice. Right, was pretty shocked, pretty happy, just already eating more a little bit and just weighing more. My overhead press has, jumped up, but weighing more, but I actually weighed less than what I did at 185. So overall, I just got stronger, which is cool. And fast forward to now, today I hit a 200-pound overhead press. Right, here's a video of me doing that. Thank God. Funny enough though, fun fact, I failed 205 3 times because I was like, I don't want to hit a 5-pound PR. I want to hit a 10-pound PR. But the fact that I had 200 in me after failing, 205 multiple times was kind of cool, right? I mean, here's a montage of me failing it right here. That shit's not going up, bro. Why the fuck is this so hard? Fuck. But again, already got to a 200-pound overhead press. The fact that I actually believed I would have had it sooner, just the fact that I know I keep overusing it, but I, got to a 405 bench, right? Naturally, I benched 405 a couple of times. I mean, here's a clip of me doing so right here. Fucking easy, bro. And funny enough, statistically speaking, I looked it up. I was like, how much should I be able to overhead press as someone who could bench press 405? And they said you should be able to do 225 as a baseline. That was not the case for me. Again, obviously, the biggest thing that comes, to mind, and that is a fact, is everyone is built different, right? Like your genetics, your anatomical leverages, right? I'm a tall motherfucker with long ass limbs, right? Just pressing in general, pressing movements for me aren't, favorable. For some odd reason, though, I progressed really well on bench. But again, that's a different type of movement, right? You are supported with a bench, just supporting you, and you're pressing something away from your chest instead of something where you're standing and you're using a lot of stabilizing muscles to just keep yourself together and strict pressing a lot of weight overhead. So again, bench press, not a lot of carryover. Again, that's why I pretty much really advocate for a lot of people to do close grip bench, because that's one of the reasons why I believe my overhead press has seen an uptick and an improvement, is just because of just me doing close grip, right? And doing a lot more tricep activities, which will help you with the lockout. But going over my anecdotal, just personal experience with the overhead press, It took me a solid minute. Again, I wonder how fast I would have hit 200 pounds if I was just consistent as fuck. And I'm now slowly also mastering the way I overhead press. Again, the biggest cue for me is like hands up like you're celebrating, and then place your hands on the bar. For me, it just feels a lot more comfortable to have a little bit more closer grip. You know, obviously because close grip bench for me also feels really comfortable. And for me, like it just felt better. And again, I was able to overhead press 200 pounds after failing like fucking 205 multiple times, which is crazy to me. I had an energy drink, and I don't know about you guys, but when I drink 200 milligrams of energy drink, I don't want to fucking waste it. Like I feel like, oh, I guess I'll just go hit my accessory lifts while being buzzed out of my mind on the energy drink that I just had about an hour ago. That to me just pisses me the fuck off. So no, I went ahead and just took the weight off and was like, we'll at least hit a little mini PR, a 5-pound PR. And yeah, 200 pounds. It took me a little bit. Again, it probably would have came a lot faster if I was more consistent, if I actually knew what the fuck I was doing. And I did a little bit more research because again, I was like, what grip method or, grip, the distance between my grip, hand placement is better for me to overhead press. And it was just, what I said earlier, hands up in the air like a celebration and then have them come down. So about shoulder width apart, and just overall like implementing accessory exercises that will help with my overhead press. Because bench doesn't really do a lot for you. I mean, it'll probably help you improve or it helps you give you a decent base, but not as strong as you may assume. And then again, now we're going to get into the statistics side of it, right? So 200-pound overhead press, statistically, only 1 to 5% of weightlifters can actually overhead press 200. So this pretty much places you in the advanced category immediately. Obviously, if you're way below 200 pounds, you are in elite level. Which is, very reassuring for me because I'm like, okay, that's cool. I feel like I'm not that behind, which is awesome. I'm finally in the 200s and I only plan on improving even more because again, I'm telling you guys, I want a 2-plate overhead press. That's the biggest goal for this summer, right? Bigger quads, bigger squat, and a bigger overhead press. I also noticed me overhead pressing a lot more has given me more cap delts, right? I'm looking a lot more filled in, which is super cool. I mean, this is me after I did, my chest back, but, with overhead press included. Right? Looking pretty fucking filled in. I'm very excited to see what happens after I start doing this a lot more consistently. Because again, I really overhead press maybe once a week, sometimes once every 2 weeks, because I'm just trying to juggle with like my bench, because again, I'm trying to increase my bench more, and I'm also I'm just going with the flow for the most part. But yeah, statistically speaking, a 200-pound overhead press puts you in a very well advanced category among, just other lifters, not even the general population. Obviously, the general population, most of them aren't even pressing 135. And another cool thing I saw was a 200-pound overhead press equates to a 300-pound bench. It's funny because I remember placing like a little factoid where, oh yeah, 225 overhead press equates to like a 315 and 350 bench. No, it fucking doesn't, bro. If you're overhead pressing 2 plates, you are well above 315. Like you're in the high 300s, if not low 400s. Because again, as a 405 bencher, I'm not overhead pressing 2 plates just yet. But that was my personal journey and the statistics. Overhead press is a lot more rewarding to me than bench press at the moment, and it's something I would actually like to take more seriously too, and just kind of progress. Because again, overhead press has a lot more carryover to the real world. Like I said many times before, many first responders like to utilize overhead press, such as firefighters, because again, most of their job is carrying stuff overhead, right, or over their shoulders. Those big ass hoses, fucking people that they're saving. It's just such a much more rewarding, mentally rewarding lift. But yeah, 200 pounds. If you're overhead pressing 200 pounds, please be rest assured you are one of the strongest people on the planet. And I mean, again, among even other weightlifters, you are like in your own category. I'm excited to get to 2 plates. I really am. I want to see how strong I can actually get. But yeah, that's today's video. Let me know if you guys are overhead pressing 200 pounds or more. But yeah, that's today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and thank you guys a lot.